Hello everyone, this is Pastor Dean Thompson. Today I want to talk to us about the unprofitable servants. Our focus text is Luke 17 verse 10. So likewise you, when you have done all those things which you are commanded, say, we are unprofitable servants. We have done what was our duty to do. Luke 17 verse 10. In Luke chapter 17 verses 1 through 10, we find Jesus giving three very important discourses. Two of these deal with the way believers are to relate to each other, and the third speaks to the believer's relationship to God. Verses 1 and 2 speak of offenses. As we interact and interface with each other from time to time, some offense will be caused. Maybe someone says something false about another person, or says something bad about somebody else. Maybe they taught something false and caused another to go astray. Maybe something was said or done that caused someone to turn away from their walk with Jesus. The point of these two verses is, if offense happens, make sure it doesn't come from you. The consequences of such may be too great of a price to pay. Verse 3 to verse 5 speak of forgiveness. If you have been offended by a brother, another believer, and that one is sorrowful and seeks forgiveness, forgive them. And if the offense is repeated 7 times in a day, and just as many times the offender seeks your forgiveness, forgive them and move on. Our willingness to forgive each other should be limitless. That is just the same way God is willing to forgive us. In response to these teachings, the disciples asked that Jesus would increase their faith. They believed that to be able to extend so much grace to one another, they will need to have great faith. But Jesus answered, if he had faith as a grain of mustard seed, he might say unto this sycamore tree, be thou plucked up by the root and be thou planted in the sea, and it should obey you. Luke 17 verse 6. It was not that they needed more faith, but they needed the right quality of faith, the faith such as Jesus himself had. Unforgiveness, when cherished, takes root in the heart and grows like a big tree, producing fruits of bitterness, malice, resentment, hatred, ultimately leads to death. But with just a mustard seed faith, we can command that tree to be uprooted from our heart, and we can be free. The more we experience and benefit from God's bountiful grace, the more we should seek to impact one another with this grace. Then in verses 7 through 10, Jesus deals with our relationship with God. Let us read the parable. Verses 7 through 10. And which of you, having a servant plowing or tending sheep, will say to him when he has come in from the field, come at once and sit down to eat? What will he not rather say to him, prepare something for my supper, and gird yourself and serve me till I have eaten and drunk, and afterward you will eat and drink? Does he thank that servant because he did the things that were commanded him? I think not. So likewise you, when you have done all those things which you are commanded, say, we are unprofitable servants. We have done what was our duty to do. Luke 17, 7 to 10. People get carried away so easily at times into thinking themselves good because of their obedience and all the good things that they do. Sometimes they even compare their obedience with that of others, boasting even that they keep more commandments than the rest. This parable teaches the need for humility. It is very easy for us to be self-deceived. No wonder Paul says, for by the grace given me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment in accordance with the faith God has distributed to each of you. The slave who does exactly what his master commanded has only done what was expected of him. We were all created to keep God's commandments. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, For this is the whole duty of man. Ecclesiastes 12, verse 13. We who have given ourselves to show our love and loyalty to God through the observance of His commandments do fall miserably short. We aren't even keeping them the way we ought, so none has any reason to boast. God has given us all some responsibilities, and in faith we must seek to fulfill them, trusting solely in His grace. In the fulfilling of our responsibilities, we must guard against pride. Pride makes the best of us go bad. Look at what it did to Lucifer. It made a devil out of him. And if we are not careful, it will make devils out of us too. We need humility. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind let each esteem other better than themselves. Philippians 2 verse 3. Let this mind be in you which was also in Christ Jesus, who being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men. And being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. So likewise ye, when ye have done all those things which are commanded you, say, we are unprofitable servants. We have done what was our duty to do. I pray that we will all seek that spirit of humility, without which we won't be acceptable before God. God bless you.